I made my daughter's boyfriend buy a new t-shirt. Grant had been dating my daughter Nora for about 8 months. Nice enough kid on paper. 19, worked part-time at an auto parts store, drove a beat-up Corolla with a check engine light that never went off. He came over for dinner on December 23rd because his family was flying to Florida the next morning, and he wouldn't see Nora again until after New Year's. Renee had been cooking since 2 in the afternoon. Pot roast, the good kind with the little red potatoes. Nora set the table with the cloth napkins we only use for holidays. I could tell she wanted this dinner to go well. The doorbell rang at 6. I answered it because I was closest, drying my hands on a dish towel. Grant stood there in the cold with his jacket zipped up to his chin, snow melting in his hair. He stepped inside, said hey, and unzipped the jacket to hang it on the hook by the door. That's when I saw the shirt. It was gray, plain otherwise, except for one line of black block letters across the chest. It's not gonna suck itself. I read it twice to make sure I wasn't misreading it in the dim hallway light. I wasn't. Nora and Renee were still in the kitchen, maybe 15 feet away, out of sight around the corner. I kept my voice low and asked Grant if he had any cash on him. He looked confused and said no. Why? I told him that shirt was not walking into my dining room, that it showed zero respect for my wife or my daughter, and he was going to go buy something else before he sat down at my table. He went pale, started to argue, said it was just a shirt, a gift from his roommate. He didn't even think about what it said when he put it on that morning. I didn't care. I pulled 2 20s out of my wallet, told him the Walmart was 3 miles up Route 9, and walked him back out to his Corolla myself so nobody would ask where he was going. He was gone 18 minutes, came back in a navy polo, tags still crinkling under his arm from where he'd ripped them off in the parking lot. Nora asked where he'd gone. He said he forgot something in the car. Dinner was good, pot roast was good, nobody said another word about it. The next afternoon, Nora showed up at the house without calling first. Grant had already left for the airport with his family. She stood in the kitchen with her coat still on and said Grant told her everything. Said I'd humiliated him, marched him out of the house like a kid in trouble, made him drive to Walmart in Christmas week traffic while she and her mom sat there with no idea what was happening. Renee looked at me and said I probably could have handled it differently, pulled him aside after dinner instead, or just let it go this once since he was leaving the next day anyway. I said I'd do it the same way again. Nora left without eating the leftovers Renee tried to send with her. 4 days later, the day after Christmas, Nora came back to grab a charger she'd left in her old room. She left her phone on the counter while she went upstairs, and it buzzed twice, screen lighting up next to me while I was doing the dishes. I wasn't trying to look. The message was right there, a group text called Roomies, and I saw enough of the preview to stop moving. Grant's message read, told you I'd wear it, her dad about had a stroke, made me buy a new one but the bet still counts, Venmo me. Someone had replied with 3 laughing emojis and, no way he actually followed through, respect. I scrolled up before Nora came back down, just far enough to see it had been planned since December 19th, a $50 bet with his roommates about who could wear the worst possible shirt to a girlfriend's family dinner and get away with it. I set the phone back down exactly where it was and didn't say a word to Nora that night. I didn't have to. She came downstairs holding it 10 minutes later, face white, and asked if I'd seen it. I told her the truth, that I hadn't gone looking, but yes, I'd seen enough. She sat at the kitchen table and read the whole thread out loud to me and Renee. $50. A bet with 3 of his roommates going back almost a week before he ever walked through our door. He hadn't forgotten what the shirt said. He'd picked it on purpose and wore it into my house knowing exactly what it meant, banking on us being too polite to make a scene. Nora didn't cry. She just texted him 3 words while he was somewhere over Georgia on his flight to Florida. We are done. Then she blocked his number before his plane even landed. Grant showed up at our door on New Year's Day, still tan from Florida, asking to talk to her. I opened the door before Nora could. I told him she didn't want to see him, and that the $50 he lost on that bet was the cheapest lesson he was ever going to get. Then I shut the door on him standing there in the cold, in a shirt that actually looked decent this time.